Hello everyone, welcome to soundproofguide.com. In this video, I'll talk about how to reduce noise from an outside air conditioner. Easy, cheap, and DIY. Having a large air conditioner unit outside brings a lot of benefits to cooling down a home. They can cool and even heat large areas, and it is usually pretty cost effective to have one installed over a window AC unit. There is also the alternative of having no AC at all, which would be miserable in certain parts of the world. Outdoor air conditioners seem the most convenient, but at what cost? Everything is just fine until they become too loud and disruptive, even when they are brand new. Using a few soundproofing method is the way to go. From materials that can help a lot to relocation, try a few of these methods out to see what ends up working. The first one would be a sound blanket. A sound blanket can come in handy for any type of AC units out there. They are very inexpensive, easy to install, and provide some amazing noise reduction qualities right away. There is no need to reach out to a professional to help with soundproofing because a purchase comes with everything a person needs. Some people may initially think that using a blanket could somehow affect how well the AC unit works. It is actually quite the contrary. A blanket helps encourage air circulation, which is vital to make sure that the air unit does not overheat. There are a ton of methods to consider to help reduce the sound. Go with this soundproofing methods first. It is very inexpensive and works for a lot of people. There is always an opportunity to try something else if it does not work. The one I recommend is the Bryn Mawr Universal Fit Air Conditioner Compressor Sound Blanket Wrap. Just a quick pause. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing to our channel and also click to expand the description below. I have links to Amazon of all of the recommended products I talk about in this video. The number two thing that a lot of people do is enclosing the AC unit. There's a reason why a lot of AC units at home are closed off a bit from everything else. Installing any fence or a barrier for that matter can help reduce the sounds that the unit makes. Different material works in different ways, but there are some to consider before going out and buying something to help out. Materials also need to not be prone to any reverberations at all. Even if the material is there for just one side, it can still cause some problems if the material is not right. Too many people get caught up with looks and do not necessarily think about how sound reverberation can make matters worse. Whatever ends up going in, make sure that there is at least a little bit of distance between the AC unit and the barrier. This is to help with air circulation and prevent any overheating. If you're going to build a fence around the AC unit, one thing you can consider that will greatly enhance its soundproofing capabilities is by wrapping all four sides of the fence with mass-loading vinyl. I have a video in my channel and also an article on my website talking about everything you need to know about mass-loading vinyl and where to get it. What type of material works best for a fence or a barrier? Well, a lot of people looks at wood fence as a great option. The higher they are, the easier it is to control sound. It is necessary for the fence to be at least a little taller than the AC unit, but some people want to hide it away from everything else completely. For a more natural look, greenery also helps quite a bit as well. Something simple like a shrub or bush can close off an area very well. Some people use a combination of a fence and greenery to turn an AC unit into a very nice looking part of the yard. Number 3, have a great surface. The surface that the AC unit is installed on makes a big difference in sound. It might not seem like a huge deal, but those who have a less than stellar setup currently will find it worth investing in something different to reduce the overall sound. More often than not, these units are put on a hard, steady surface like cement. It does not have to be any bigger than the actual unit, and it prevents everything from rocking around too much. If for some reason the setup becomes a little uneven, even the slightest bit of rattling around can cause a huge annoyance. To fight off those noises, you can buy a pad specifically made to put under the AC unit. Number 4, preventing water dripping noises. Dripping water from an air conditioner does not always mean that something is wrong. In fact, this could just be a pretty normal day where the unit is working just fine but is just extremely hot out. If the unit is a bit off ground, the dripping noise can be pretty loud. To combat the dripping noise, attach a hose to the air conditioner's hose so that water does not drip at all. Another reason why the AC unit could be making noise is from the top shroud, which is the metal screen that is on top of the AC unit. Sometimes it gets a little bit loose or it's a little bit bent and it tends to vibrate, and that vibration can lead to a lot of very annoying noise. You can easily find out if this is what's happening by placing your hand on top of the shroud and pressing downward. By doing this, the vibration should stop and the noise should go away. If this is the case, then look at the shroud and see if there's any bend anywhere. If there is, try to fix the bend and put it back where it belongs. Sometimes just bending the shroud a little bit here and there will make the noise go away. Another reason that this could make noise is coming from where the shroud is bolted into the AC unit. One thing you can do if this is the case is loosen up the bolts and lift up the cage a little bit to bend it. And if you just bend it just a little bit, it might stop the vibration noise coming from where it's screwed down into the unit. Another thing in this area, if you look closely, there should be a washer between the shroud and the AC unit to avoid unnecessary vibration noise, but obviously the weather and the sun's rays will weaken the rubber of the washers and make it not work properly. This is a relatively easy fix. All you need to do is take the washer out that's currently there, go to your local hardware store and buy the exact same washer. One important thing to consider is to not put a washer on every single one of these screws. The reason for this is the grounding of the motor of this unit goes through the cage and down into the outside of the unit. Another thing to be aware of if you're replacing an older unit with a new one is that surprisingly the newer units are actually louder than a lot of the older models when they are turning on and shutting off. The reason for this is the different types of compressors between the older and the newer units. The older units used to have something called a reciprocating compressor, where the new ones have what is called a scroll compressor. The scroll compressors are a little bit louder when they turn on and off. This is something that is quite normal and nothing to be alarmed of. Number 7, soundproof the home and not the AC unit. With all the attention put on the air conditioner itself, some people might get frustrated and want to soundproof their home instead. This is certainly an option and it helps make life easy with any type of sound. Soundproofing options are plentiful for anyone who is looking to do so on a budget. It does not really take that much to see some difference, and there are some permanent solutions as well if a person is constructing a new home. The only drawbacks to focusing on the home instead of the unit itself is that it will still be noisy for any neighbors. If there are a lot of complaints coming from neighbors, there still might be a need to do something about the sound coming from the actual air conditioner. And finally, you can just give up and change location of the AC unit. This is not an option for everyone, but if a person has the opportunity to pick out a location for an HVAC system, they should take advantage of that opportunity. This means doing enough research to figure out where it should go concerning the rest of the home. Most people want to stay away from certain areas of the home more than others. Rooms that are generally quiet or people spend a lot of time in should be avoided at all costs. Putting an HVAC system near a bedroom, a dining room, or even the living room is problematic for many. If put in a strategic location, there might not even be a need to invest in any other type of soundproofing. Most HVAC professionals will usually do a good job of making recommendations as far as where the setup should go. There are always going to be at least a little bit of noise coming from an air conditioner. People who currently own one will attest to that. The good news is that there are ways to reduce the sound and make life better in general. It's always frustrating to have to spend money on making some fixes, but it is worth it for people in the end if they do not have to put up with nearly as much sound every day. There is also something to be said to improving the look of the air conditioner because it is not exactly something that makes a home look beautiful. Have some fun with building a barrier or use some of the other methods to tuck it away and keep things quiet. Not only will it benefit the homeowners, but the neighbors will be very thankful as well. Feel free to take a look at many of our other YouTube videos and also some of our articles on our website, soundproofguide.com. Don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed this video, and also consider subscribing to our channel if you like our content. Also, feel free to leave us a comment below if you have any soundproofing questions of your own. We will certainly try our very best to help you. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video or any other videos in our channel. Thank you very much.